The mysterious, the macabre, the out of this world. The following are real people. They have real stories, and they've had real encounters. Here tonight on Newsworthy, 2 words and 2 question marks.
He's alive! Have you checked the children? Get out!
Hello, this is Jerry. We're back here at the Red River Gorge Festival 2026, and we're fortunate enough to have another gentleman to stop by, and he's got a wild story to tell us. Amazing. Thanks for stopping by, and go ahead. Share your story.
I appreciate you having us here, and I appreciate the opportunity to share a story that I don't really share with a lot of people because, well, it sounds too far-fetched.
But this is kind of a safe place to do it, right?
It is a safe place to
like
do
this.
it. And I will tell you that I live in an old historic home. It's a Victorian in downtown and central Kentucky.
I think you said almost 130 years old.
Yeah, it was built in the late 1800s,
Okay.
and it's got a lot of history to it. So one day I was planting some flowers out in front of our, we have a stone fence, and it borders between us and the road.
Right.
And it's fairly long row, and I put plants all the way down the front of it, and I got down to the last plant, and I was feeling pretty proud of myself, and I was bent down and my head to the plants, and I could feel my wife like running up to me. It's like, oh, hey, you're done. But instead, it said, hey, ooh, let me see. And so I looked up and to say, oh, I'm just finishing, and I got half of that sentence out, and my wife was not there.
You're talking to no one.
No, nowhere. So my wife and I have had a couple of different incidences outside of our house, around the perimeter of it, and we call her the lady outside. And I feel very confident that that was her bouncing up to me, but she wasn't there. And another encounter that we've had with the lady outside is my brother and I were standing around the corner of the front porch, and my wife was out sweeping the front porch, and we heard her laughing, and so I thought, my brother said, what is she laughing about? I said, I don't know, let's go around there and see what's going on. We went around the corner, and she was sweeping away, and I said, what are you laughing about? She said, I wasn't laughing.
Oh, man.
But there was somebody laughing. Yeah.
Your wife started telling a bit of a story earlier about how that these things had interacted with your children at some point, and I think she started to say that she had told them, you got to stop that. She didn't finish it. Was that enough to get them to stop interacting with your kids?
I would say yes, it did. You know, there was when we moved into the house and realized that there was a presence there of others. I made a vocal deal. I said, listen, we all can live here together, and you don't bother us, and we're not going to bother you.
Nice.
And so the incident she was talking about was a candle. My kid had a candle and was playing with it, like kids do. And my wife said, blow that candle out. It's time to go to bed. And my kid was probably 10 and didn't want to go to bed at the time.
Sure. What kid does?
Right. And so while they were there, all of a sudden the candle just blew out. The flame, it was not a draft, it wasn't anything like that.
Right.
Somebody blew the candle out, and it was not my wife or my kid. The house just has a presence about it, and I've learned to accept that, and I'm okay with it.
From the way you've described it, it sounds like at no point did you guys feel threatened. Did you feel, I'm guessing, because you had kids there, you didn't move, you still live there, so apparently you never felt that it meant you ill harm?
No, I've never thought that it meant any harm to us, but I can tell you before I moved in, I was quite skeptical, but...
Oh, you heard some of the history?
Well, it wasn't the history that I heard from the house. I'll share with you in a moment that, yes, I found out the history of the
Okay.
house, but it was, I just didn't believe that,
Gotcha.
things like that happen. But when it happens to you,
Different story.
and there is no way to explain it,
Sure.
you have to just think that this has got to be, something from the other side.
Right. Absolutely. Amazing. No pun
Amazing.
intended. Yeah, absolutely. Do you remember the first time that it made itself evident to the point that you were no longer a skeptic? How
Yes,
did that
I
make
do.
you feel?
Well, I was sitting in my living room,
Okay.
and from our utility room that walks out into the center hall, I was sitting on the couch, and clearly someone came out of my utility room, and their body was translucent. It was not full bodied, but yet it was enough that I could tell details of the clothing. And they were half downstairs and half upstairs, and their body just moved through as though it had no regard for the dimension of floors. And it wasn't something out of the corner of my eye. I followed this from one room out into the hallway and disappeared. And I mean, at that point, I had zero explanation. I thought this has just got to be what it is.
There is no rational explanation that follows the known physics rules of this world.
Right.
That could do that.
Right. It's crazy.
It is.
It's crazy. But at this point, we've lived there for almost 15 years, and the activity sometimes is greater than others, and you may go a year or 18 months and nothing happened, and then all of a sudden 3 or 4 things will happen over a month or two time.
Nothing that you've been able to figure out that's precipitating that.
No.
Just
No.
randomly happens.
Very random, but you just accept it as real, and this is happening or it's not.
I love your story. One last question. I ask everyone this with a similar type story. I'm sure over the years of you telling this, there's probably been at least some people that were skeptical. What would you say to the skeptics?
It's okay to that's fine. You don't have to believe it. And if you would have said something to me prior to living in this house, I would have not believed you.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, and so it's okay. It's just like in whatever faith you have in God or whoever, it's your faith, and
right.
and you can't make someone else believe it.
Good point.
So I believe. You don't have to believe it, but I do.
Personal experience will change your perspective quite dramatically in something like this, won't it?
It certainly will.
Amazing. Thanks again. We certainly appreciate you stopping by and sharing your story.
Thank you.
And Jerry, if you can't see the light,
Be the light.